long there.
Well, we got to talk about the draft here. This is something that HANWHA have been struggling with. Peanut actually said publicly that after a couple of their last games, he just felt like they lost in draft. Like, imagine that feeling mentally of like, you're going to this game, you're like, we just got crushed in draft. It's very difficult to play out a game and feel confident to win it if you feel like you're losing that hard in draft. So I think it's going to be something I have my eye on in this one to see what these drafts look like.
I completely agree. They already have, because they're on blue side, they can afford to do this, but they've already banned BDD's Taliyah. Now, because they're blue side...
and his Aurora.
Yeah, the Azir is going to be, something that I think KT need to ban against Zeka, but the fact that you have to consider his Taliyah and his Azir, if KT, for example, in Game 2 go to blue side, is very scary. But I do think these are wise bans, considering BDD's current performances. So, Vi is banned. Pantheon will also be banned, yes. And I think probably Azir will be that third ban. With the Aurora ban, though, the Gwen does feel pretty strong here.
Yeah, you could leave both up and ban, like, Varus, or just ban none and try to get 2, which is something we tried to convince our Rise teams to do, and they just kind of fell flat on their faces. Yeah. I mean, DK at least were able to get some good drafts in as another BDD ban.
Yeah, well, KT Rolls will not be a Rise team in this series, I don't think, with that ban.
Not in this game, at least.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's tricky. I would say ban Azir and keep it for your potential blue side if you lose this game, and just keep it in your back pocket. It's just so strong.
Yeah. And
don't let Zeka have it with Taliyah already banned. This does mean Gwen can be played, but Rumble is also up, and Jace is also up. There are answers on red side to a first pick Gwen, if that's what Zayas is looking for. I think production panning over to him right now indicates they're also feeling like that is the potential angle we're looking at here. The Varus instead, though, for Viper, one that he's loved playing this
Production was really ready to hit that 80 carry button, by the way. Like, it insta-swapped when the Varus got hovered. They knew.
Those were the two main ones that were in consideration, for sure. So now in answer, you can get the Xin Zhao, which is, the top-tier jungle pick that's left available here, and, you could grab the Gwen if you want to. We're not seeing a whole lot of Gwen Sejuani at the moment, so I don't think that's going to be the jungle lock-in here for Cuz.
Yeah.
Wukong
Trundle is too good.
Wukong is also up. So those are the 3. I think Trundle blind is not getting punished enough. I'm not necessarily a fan of playing Trundle into the Varus.
He hovered Ivern Wolf. He did it.
He did hover the Ivern.
He's going to play Wukong because it's a much better idea.
Yeah. I mean, Ivern pretty good into Trundle.
Yeah, that's true. Annie, when your mid laner's not very confident, stick him on the Annie. Annie's pretty good, though, just in general against what's left. I think that, though, you can play like Orianna or Victor and feel pretty comfortable about your lane, at least, for BDD.
I like Victor way more just because the ball carrier setup right now isn't that strong. Instead, looking for the Jhin here. With so many mid laners up, yes, the Taliyah and the Azir are gone, sure, but there's still a lot of flexibility here. Grabbing the Jhin right now to be able to match the Varus in lane feels like a smart choice.
Ban Bard if you're HANWHA Esports.
Yes, because Bard Orianna would be a great way to close this one out.
Yeah, and I feel like another BDD ban wouldn't be so bad either.
Yeah. For the side of HANWHA Esports here, you're looking at Rakan. You might be thinking about Alistar, but I think probably not in this lane setup. And it's not really a draft where you want to have a range support for your Varus into this Jhin. You could even ban something like a Nautilus. The Maokai that we saw played by Beryl kind of makes sense here too. I don't know if that's something Delight's going to be interested in playing. No surprise to see the Orianna. And the Bard loses some value because of the Orianna ban, but I still think it's something that Peter is considering. Peter's Nico as well. That might actually be the ban here for KT.
I think that's a better ban, yeah.
Because, Nico Varus into Jhin feels very, very, very unfortunate to play. And Peter, as a Nico enjoyer, is a knower. But they banned the Bard.
They banned the Bard.
Yeah.
I mean, Bard and Wukong is also very good for setup. I liked it for Peter defensively. But He's not really a Bard player as well, so they just ban it away. Probably a good call.
So this ban is a little bit tougher now. Maybe they ban Nico and just say, I don't like that. I don't like playing Wukong into Nico. I don't like getting rooted when I'm trying to go on the approach. Alistair was a little bit less appealing to me.
It's another Peter champ, and R4 Alistair has been plaguing the LCK. Not plaguing. I mean, it just gets picked a lot. But yeah, I think the Nico could be a good shout. But let's see what he actually does pick here. It will be the Rel.
Okay,
Flank.
I wonder what BDD's plan is now. With all the setup they have here, pillars, Rel engage, you know, the damage here is very Gwen focused right now, so I wouldn't be shocked if BDD went for something just a little bit more consistent in terms of damage. Like even a Smolder pick in mid feels okay because it's relatively safe in this draft. The Poppy made it super deep in this one. Very rare to be opened this late. Poppy Varus, interesting, but it feels good into the Rel.
Yeah. It's very good into the Rel, into everything else. It's kind of whatever, but it's a great pick for Delight. The Rumble left until the final pick.
I mean, there's so much setup for the Equalizer, and they have great poke. I really like this draft here for HANWHA Life Esports.
Kind of surprised they didn't ban it, you know?
So, BDD's laughing. Malzahar! What? Well, I thought he might have had something prepared that was a little bit unusual, but I thought it was going to be something that we could have considered to be in the realm of, like, at least fringe meta. Okay. Well,
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
okay, well, he has that bubble around him.
He does.
So that means he can't be hurt.
Well, while the bubble is around him, yes.
Yes, that's what I mean. When the bubble is around him like that, he can't be hurt. So that feels pretty good into Annie.
It's good into Lethality Varus.
Yeah.
The Rumble's generally not going to be able to proc it that often unless you're like way too close. And they're going to have to respect you anyway because you're Malzahar.
Annie's early wave clear isn't great. Malzahar will be pushing waves hard and will, you know, be able to manage a certain level of prio. But then what he does with it is, you know, still a mystery to all of us because he's Malzahar. So pre-6, I don't think he'd be taking any visits to any skirmishes.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to think about the last...
Oh, he doesn't have his bubble anymore. Then he still got stunned because
Yeah.
Deca autoed him first. That's
I'm trying to think about the last time Malzahar was actually meta.
2017 Crown Malzahar?
Well, that's definitely the most obvious. I do wonder if there was a time in between where he was actually meta. I don't think so. Like, he was played here and there, even in support. There were a couple of times. But yeah.
Huni hates Malzahar. Like, whenever I think about Malzahar, I feel like Huni he got out of his chair angrily. He's like, I don't want to talk about it, and leaves the room promptly.
Malzahar is definitely one of those champions where, you know, Skarner got changed, where, you know, Peanut would often just flash Impale, insta-targeted Impale, you know, the old Skarner.
You remember...
Malzahar can still do that from range.
Yeah.
Last time was Showmaker against KT Aria.
Yeah, 2022 special.
I feel like that was just Showmaker having fun.
Yeah, that was when Arya was struggling to get his feet off the ground. You remember the StarCraft 2 commentator Nathanius?
Yeah.
He became a League of Legends streamer for a while, notoriously only play Malzahar's. Duckdom is...
yeah. Just got, like, Poppy assassinated. Just has to cleanse Flash heal just because Delight ran at him?
Yeah, that's
strange.
Not ideal. But yeah, Nathanius, he played only Malzahar on the stream for a while I was watching him. So I think about him when I see the Malzahar. Interesting, BDD will have to TP back. Zeka just getting the free stun off of the auto at the level 1 probably didn't really help BDD's laning phase. Zeka is at half mana, and he's just going to keep pushing the lane, and Still, he's probably wondering the same way we all are about why this Malzahar eventuated is -1. So what happens with the glowing minion is if you kill it at the right timing, it lets you push. But when you're losing the lane, it's really hard to do that. Let's the glowing minion go. Oh, there it goes. And then it jumps to the next one. But yeah. Dark Seal in the inventory.
Wukong is OP.
Production is like, this is not looking good for KT. And you out there.
He's like, by the way, Peanut's going to get his first kill, or his 2000th kill today. It's going to happen. Wukong's OP. I mean, it is anti-Wukong. That seems pretty conducive to getting some kills. So if it doesn't happen, I'd be surprised.
Click on BD, how close to he is to getting his bubble back.
They clicked on Rumble instead.
No, yeah. Bit of a lane swap here with the prio that Viper has with the Forest that they prioritize, which is pretty good. Are we passive aggressively saying that HANWHA Life have the better draft? I think we're kind of passive aggressively saying we think
it's
got
definitely
a pretty good chance.
A lot more standard, and it works really well together. I think they do. Yeah, but there are some strong parts.
Okay, hold on. There's a big dive opportunity here.
We're just flashing on the Wukong. Not really going to happen, but there's 4 of them down in the bottom lane. Perfect here as well. And Peter trying to take this one up. It's not going to happen. And Zeus, he says, how about a no diving sign for you guys? Because he is going to live for now. We do have a redive brewing as now Peter can't quite tank it. So it's just going to be him getting the stun. Duckdom tanks up a shot. And first blood is given over to Perfect.
And Peanut has to be really careful about how he exits here. I think just clearing the wave is definitely the play. I'm not sure about chasing up towards that dragon, as he will get away. But that's a still big win for KT. It took a lot of time. At the same time, though, well,
what is going on?
Okay, that was not no longer a win for KT. I was also going to mention Viper did get a plate with all the additional time he had topside there. And will have a significant gold lead. Isaias really just kind of walks it off. Like, he was able to eat this damage here, gets stunned, gets rooted, then flashes, and that's kind of the end of it, right? Until they go for the redive. This is where the aggro juggle is actually really clean here for the side of KT. As you can see, Isaias is desperately trying to clear this wave while also staying out of range. Duckdom taking that extra turret shot was perfect. And then Delight just finds a straggler, and that straggler is perfect.
Yeah, level 4 Gwen not really going to be enjoying herself. Still level 4, just hit level 5, so still almost a full level behind, as there goes the shield and there goes the Tibbers as well. And
if Zeka was in turret range, BD could have ulted him under the turret for the counterplay.
Yeah. My read on this is that I think pros are seeing the Annie get a lot more priority, and they're trying to figure out good counters to it. And BDD decided, well, Zeka's good, HANWHA Life are good, this is my time to bring it out. And yes, a lot of things got banned against him, but he also could have just played, you know, Victor. Like, it didn't have to be Malzahar. He could have played Syndra.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned the Smolder. It could have been that, too.
Smolder.
You know, you could just go for some safe damage for the late game with a comp like this. Or anything that could have helped out the side laning Gwen, as Cuz does not smite.
Yeah, he doesn't have smite, and he might not have his life in a moment. He is going to get away with the exhaust. Peter, though, is also going to hop away.
If he had smite, he gets 6, and they can play it, but he doesn't have it. And that ends up being a small win here for HANWHA Life. We're generating gold leads everywhere. So what this Malzahar will do in a fight, not in this fight.
Okay, he's going to lock with the ult. A lot of damage from the minions getting in there. But it's not actually a kill.
No.
It's more like a pressure relief ult more than anything else.
Yeah, no, it's, I mean, I think it was a cool little tempo ult there. But what he could do in fights is lock down any single target with that ultimate. And obviously put his little, are they called voidlings? I don't even know what they're...
I think so.
Yeah, well, let's just call them voidlings for the sake of...
Let's call them zerglings.
Maybe voidlings.
Yeah,
You're like, let's call them zealots, no?
They kind of, yeah. Anyway.
Is it a baneling? No, Valdez, just, I think it's a voidling. Anyway,
wanted to go back in time a little bit.
He puts those on someone who he locks down, and then the team kills that target. That's how it works. And sometimes that could be great onto a champion like the Wukong, who wants to go in and then gets caught, stasis essentially, and then taken out. As we have a fight here, Duckdom loses half his health.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a bunch to Duckdom because takes a little scratch, not really much.
BDD does not have ult because he used it in that last fight, so
yeah.
the Zeka having his ult, in fact, I'm not sure if KT can really do anything about this. Peter does not also have level 6. They are going to be able to get control over this banana brush, though, and kind of just chill.
Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Zeus trying to bully as much as possible. But yeah, it looks pretty good for KT to try to start this one up. Delight behind on levels, actually, to Peter.
I mean, Peanut doesn't have his Cyclone from that play earlier as well on the blue buff, but he's about to get it. Like, we're right on the edge of an explosive team fight, but neither team has enough control to actually pull the trigger. As BDD gets a little -1 there for Zeka.
Yeah, there's a lot of cooldowns here. Cyclone about to come up 1 second.
Peanut also just gets his, yeah. That's what you're talking about there. And then they back away.
Yeah, it's very much on a nice edge. Like, BDD was about to get his ult. Zeka doesn't have his ult, so it's like, can't really do this. We got a TP now.
From Peter.
Yeah. On in, trying to make sure they get at least one. There is the lockdown as it does go to the Trundle. Peanut locked in, the silence going down. Delight in a bit of trouble, has to flash away, but the flash follow from the red buff Trundle. And Delight eventually gets chomped and eventually does go down. So KT, they pick up one of the grubs to get the second one and a kill.
So I guess, you know what, Valdez?
What?
Malzahar looks pretty viable, you know?
He's good in the early to mid game before they pay their QSS tax.
All you gotta do is go into the pit, okay, or to the objective. Right? You don't even have to be fully in the pit. You should be near the jungler. You lock them down. You don't kill them, but they get away, but then eventually get caught up to, and then your support gets cut off, and then they die. That's just how it goes. They end up getting 2 out of 3. That's an objective feat of strength, objectively speaking, by the way.
Thank you for that, yeah. You said honestly earlier, and I wanted to just say, like, thanks for being honest.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't tell a lie to anybody here.
Yes,
on television, no way. When you're left alone in a lane, you can push pretty quickly, too. So you have Gwen, you have Malzahar, right? Like, talking about theoreticals about how this could go well for KT. The fact that they win that fight and get 2 grubs to 1, it means that Malzahar, when he hits turrets, he's got the grubs there. The Gwen's going to have that, too. I just kind of look at what HLE have, though, and they have so much engage. They have so much backline access. They have so much peel for this Gwen. And the fact that Delight can just ult multiple people away is pretty massive, you know? I think if BDD ults Delight when he's looking for one of those plays, it's a win for HANWHA.
What if he ults the Malzahar away mid-Mal's ult? What happens then? I think the ult just gets interrupted.
I think it does, because I think it's...
What if there's like a strand of like purple across the
I don't
map?
think that's how it works.
Yeah.
We have seen funkier things like the Nautilus buffers and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it quite works that way. Although, you know, I haven't seen that Malzahar interaction that much, where he's ulting someone and Poppy ults him. It's not really a common one in pro play, since we haven't seen the pick in 3 years.
Over 3 years.
Over 3 years. 3.5 years.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. February 2022.
So he's got his Blackfire Torch online. So in longer fights, he will do damages over time.
Perfect's doing a good job of just trying not to die. Like, his job, he knows he's too far behind to really contest anything. He's just like, okay, I'm just going to try not to get too far behind and try not to die.
That's a very half full way of looking at it, because right now I'm looking half empty.
Well, let's see what happens here. The exhaust comes through. Peter's like, I'm definitely going to help. He waits until the last moment. The equalizer is way off. And then Peter says, well, I guess I was a little bit late there. As now Hedge Flash coming on over. They could look for a dive on a Peter. With the 3 of them, maybe, but we got a back here from Zeus, who's too low.
He doesn't have his ult.
That's a lot of voidlings coming in as Zeka gonna avoid the silence and just die anyway. Solo kill from BDD.
Zeus?
On his Malzahar.
Okay, Zeus gets out at the same time. But hey, you know, you get those Voidlings stacked up. You press R, you can get a kill. He's got that extra damage from the Blackfire Torch. And nice sidestep attempt there from Zeka. Ultimately still goes down. There's just too much damage there. Zeus will escape with his life, but is pushed out of the lane. See where he decides to TP here. It's just going to be straight back to the top side of the map. Does have his Leandri's online. We'll watch this from BDD. So stun is used on the wave. Does get the shield off of BDD, but he just gets ulted. Q gets placed. He dodges it. Still dies.
Zeka needs to know that he cannot step up there.
No.
And he did, because he probably hasn't played against Malzahar in 3 years himself. So he walks up, he's like, yeah, I'm okay. He wasn't okay. Okay, well, everything's gonna miss, but also cleanse got used. So good job, Viper.
Sometimes you gotta cleanse the miss. Hitbox is tricky, Valdez.
Just in case, you know, you never know.
Well, that was embarrassing for everyone, but it's okay. It's okay, everybody. Everybody's keeping wits about you. This is a real pro game of League of Legends in the Legend group. Okay, Zeus has got some backup this time. A lot of backup. In fact, the TP is coming through from Zeka.
They really want to get perfect here, and they're not going to. But big rotation comes up. TP from BDD up here, and they're going to get this first turret down. It looks like. Okay, that's
Who's getting ulted?
It's a jump of the dot from Tivers on Zeka. Starting to do some pretty good damage.
Yeah, I mean it's not irrelevant team fight damage for sure. It's just if you're losing the team fight, he does nothing. But if he's catching a team that's looking for a dive or a turret, punishing greed can be quite strong. And he has a pretty huge lead because he's farming super hard. It's hard to mess up farm as Malzahar, and he has that extra kill he got onto Zeka, so he's holding a lot of money. When he hits 2 items, that pick potential gets even stronger. Onto basically anyone who's isolated, anyone who's trying to clear vision. If you interact with Malzahar alone, you're probably going to die, but if he has teammates, you're definitely dead. So it's a pick that isn't, like you said, being respected as much as it needs to be. And the side lane threat of this Gwen is still relevant. They're trying to shut him down super hard, but still a bit of a problem here for HANWHA Life.
I honestly think that Perfect is playing it well from behind, like he didn't die against 4 people. He's respecting a lot of the dives. He hasn't died again to the Rumble. Peter's, disengage cone gets punished, and he'll have to go for the flash. So that will make me happy. And now HLE Esports might just be able to get a free objective as down goes Peter. And yeah, they're going to get the Rift Herald here.
So Peter could have just played for the choke point control that they were in control of while they held the Herald, but he saw an angle that maybe no one of us really were able to quite see, but unfortunately he is promptly punished, and HANWHA Esports are happy to take both that kill gold and the objective. So Peter is on a ward, which is a big problem, but he crash downs into the Wukong, and he feels safe because he has the cone, right? But he ends up getting away after using flash and is so incredibly low, and now his team needed that engage to actually, hold the Herald and prevent the floodgates that opened that were HANWHA Esports pushing through the choke. So yeah, he's just out of luck because he's got no flash, he's got no crash down, and a peculiar move. Well, HANWHA Life, they'll take it.
There have been some of those here tonight so far. Biggest lead in the game goes to BDD.
That's the BDD Classic.
Yep, that's the BDD Classic, the BDD Strike. And the next one will go to Viper, who's almost 1,000 gold ahead of his opponents. Actually, it's fluctuating between him and Zeus in terms of their leads. Makes sense that Zeus is still very far ahead on the Rumble pick into Gwen after Gwen kind of just died at level 4 and couldn't farm and stuff like that, so fell pretty far behind, did perfect. Hasn't had a chance to catch up yet.
Peter trying to control this side lane here with his teammates when they want the Gwen to push through. Top lane has been abandoned as the Dragon is up. Well, will be in 15 seconds here. TP, pretty short distance for Zeus. He really wants to get in here and control this prio. They're even going to drop the Herald right now to make sure this Dragon is 100% on lockdown for them.
Yeah, they're trying to push to the tri-bush as well, showing a lot of presence.
Not quite enough damage to take out the turret, but it's so much control here for this HANWHA Life composition that has Viper who could just poke. As KT struggle to approach, you can see they just don't have a lot of information. Cuz denied on the flank.
He's taking a bunch of damage, has to go for the subjugate already, but there's the lockdown on the Annie! And down he goes again, but meanwhile, Peter just runs into 4 of them. Not sure what that was about. A zoning Peter, but it is going to be the Ocean Drake that goes over to HANWHA Life Esports, even with all the Malzahar hype. Doesn't matter, HANWHA are still getting incremental leads. Nice sidestep here from Viper.
And BDD finds that pick, that angle, but the fight was really just not going to be turned by that. You know, it's not the biggest threat outside of the CC, the Annie. A trade of turrets will go down here, but first one going over to HLE in the exchange. Feats of strength will belong to them. And Annie will TP topside here. Zeka not going to allow the exchange actually to occur. As this setup is really hard here for Cuz and KT, because he wants to go for the flank. He's the target here. And sure, BDD can actually punish on the side, and they can look for this turn. Peter ends up being caught, though, and Cyclone down. And the fight is just so broken up. And HLE are just not concerned about this Jhin at all, because everyone's still at full health. Everything is used on one single target, so the rest of the team remains healthy. And Malzahar, when he does that, it's like he died anyways, right? Because he used all his buttons, he used his ult, and you know he's not going to be doing much after that. That's kind of my problem with this comp. Is it has
better
to be,
than the Annie,
but like it has to be. But your Jin's not in position, right? Your Rel is out of position, dead. It has to be, often in these fights, Perfect who cleans up house after a prio target is taken down, or Cuz has to have that angle. And in that situation, Duckdom tried his best to be relevant in the fight, but he just simply wasn't going to be.
Yeah. I think as it gets later and the Jhin gets like 3-4 items, the Gwen gets 3-4 items, there are going to be fights that look like that. And KT should be able to win them, but they got to keep the gold close. They got to keep this game close. Can't let too many Ocean Drakes go over.
I mean, imagine Peter hits a big Magnet Storm, and the rest of the team's there to follow up. BDD hits like a giant silence, and then somebody gets taken out in the interim, and BDD's, you know, starting to do a lot of damage that he can stack up slowly in that type of fight where that CC is there. Then yeah, sure. I think it's not impossible to see KT win this game, especially if they can get a rogue target right before a team fight starts off. The pick power is insane, and if the Gwen can pull HANWHA Life Esports around the map, that could work out. But right now, it's all HANWHA. It's all their control. They have full vision control over this Otacon. They're going to pull KT across the map. Perfect doesn't have TP. He's rushing over here. And HANWHA Life, it's a pretty safe take here. Let's see how the turn looks.
It doesn't feel like they're that confident themselves.
Yeah, they're
kind of like pulled it over.
Angle, but BDD has his shield.
Yeah, kind of looks like they want to turn, and there you go. They're going to break down the shield, but the follow-up is pretty late. Peanut finally gets in there, but immediately he gets shut down, and knocked away goes the Malzahar, but Peanut's already dead! And now the rest of the team follows up. Zeka, super low on health, gets taken out, and KT gonna get through this fight ahead just barely. You can see that Viper's got a lot of health himself, but the man advantage goes to KT.
They can't quite keep the Otacon interested there. If it stays at 7k, it's a free Otacon for them, but now we're going to see HANWHA Life look for the contest. Perfect with the dodge.
I mean, this is
a lot of damage.
A lot of damage. I don't think they can do this one.
It reset. If they could have prevented the reset, I think they get it. But with the health resetting there, Viper's like, I don't think so, my KT brothers. I don't see the line. This fight is so funny because look at this Viper and Zeka tag team. Viper's like, buy shield, and then Zeka's like, flash stun, but there's just not enough damage. Peanut isn't there until way too late. BDD flashes and then suppresses him, and then down he goes, and then Cuz is able to then catch Zeka. So it's a huge win in the fight for KT. The problem is Viper's full health, and watch the Otacon. Otacon pulls out here, and then it resets. And if they're able to stay on top of it, I think they get it, they get out. Still, they reset the gold. It's back down to basically dead even, and BDD is huge. He is starting to become a real problem.
That's a real stripe. That's like a... That's not even a stripe at this point. I don't even know what to call that.
It's like
a pillar of confidence for your team.
You know that one shirt that Degon sometimes wears? It was like two colors. It's a BDD side of the shirt. Like half of the shirt is BDD.
One side is HANWHA, the other side is BDD.
Yeah. We're not quite at that level, but we're getting closer. As Peanut, you were out there.
He's been a bit out there. Even Needle's going to come down, and the cone is denied once again. The happiest day for Valdez. No disengaged cones in this game of League of Legends. And it's a kill here onto Peanut. And it's a good one. It's not going to be huge. Well, actually, the
Dragon is
Ocean
up.
Drake, the Ocean Drake is going to come up, so is going to feel pretty nice for the side of KT.
Yeah, and unfortunately, HANWHA Life Esports aren't in a setup where they can try to punish or collapse. Like, Zeka can't push up any further because he doesn't have a lot of vision on the top side of the jungle. He can push that extra wave into the inner, but he didn't have TP, so he can't come down. All he could do is push up a little bit and go, well, that's kind of the end of that. And so Peanut's attempt to grab Scuttle Vision for the Dragon gets punished, and so it's the second death of the game. Viper is ready to fight. But yeah, Peanut down, Dragon down. We're now tied up 2 Drakes apiece. In the late game, this comp for KT kind of becomes pretty free, especially with the grubs they have and the side lane power they have. The fact that they've been able to stay in touching distance here with HANWHA Life and bring this to a 2-2 Drake game, look for these punish plays onto Peanut, means that maybe our Malzahar memeing was a little out of touch about what could have happened in this very funky game of League of Legends.
We said it's good into the Annie.
Yeah.
We just didn't expect BDD, for some reason, we didn't expect BDD to just solo take over the game. And that's exactly what he does, regardless of the champion, apparently. So really just adding a new notch onto his belt. He's like, you know, I can do it on Aurora. She's OP. But I can also do it on Malzahar. So
If
you can't give me anything.
And if we keep seeing him, because he gets bigger and bigger and relatively safer, tougher to take down, and Doctom's positioning is good, like, he keeps just ulting Peanut when Peanut tries to engage, like, that works, you know, that's good enough. As we are going to see HANWHA Life Esports try to start this up. Perfect does have TP. Zeus, of course, could match him here. I think this is a very risky take attempt for HLE.
This is just desperate. They're trying to collapse on a BDD. That's not going to work. And he's like, I don't even want to use my ult on a Delight. Because now the TP's coming in, but Peter's dead. Maybe should have ulted Delight. Would have been a free kill. Instead, they're going to lose their support.
This is where Perfect has to do that damage, because there's just not enough consistent damage in this comp here for KT. If they're going to win this fight, he needs to close that gap. Otacon not resetting this time.
All right, Jhin ult's going to open up. The equalizer is pretty good right on top of the Jhin, and it will be smited down by Peanut. Meanwhile, the ult comes out from BDD, and he does get the kill, but Peanut's right there this time around. The follow-up so much quicker from him. As now the second Cyclone going to be huge as well. Keeps them both around, gets Cuz. And finally, Peanut shows up, and HANWHA Life Esports take a big lead.
Great call on the Otacon here for HANWHA Life Esports. They had all the tools to try to deny KT entry, and they're going to go for the double here. Otacon into Baron, and there's just no stopping this. Peter doesn't even have unsealed on.
He got a kill.
He did it!
He finally did it.
Finally
Congrats to Peanut.
So, this is just, I mean, Peter, you still don't have Smite.
This is not Old Rel.
This is a Gwen who is stunned and pushed out. Yeah, Peter, it was a cool idea, you know.
Was it? I don't know.
He had the right, he knew where the party was.
Yeah.
He just wasn't on the list. And, I mean, look, BDD, a lot of tools are used here onto this Malzahar, and then Peter goes back in, but he's so split, and Cuz doesn't follow. And I don't think he should, because he's playing Trundle, right? He needs to come up here and peel for the backline, but now your damage is Speedy trying to get Voidlings into a fight and try to lock somebody down, but he just can't get in. And then Perfect is really your damage as Jhin comes in here trying to help secure the objective and look for the smite. And then Perfect is like, I can't kill Zeus. Okay, barely got him. Now can I get on top of this Varus that outranges me? I don't have any Q stacks. Like, he just can't do anything. And Peanut just cyclones back defensively and cuts them in two. Takes out the Trundle. Perfect survives, but did very little.
Yeah. I like Zeus' call there to just run straight at the Malzahar. He knew he was going to be ulted, right? But he just put up the Flame Spitter. He's like, okay, you want to ult me, you're going to take a ton of damage too. This time my team will actually follow up.
This is not a replay.
Cyclone comes in, and Perfect is donezo. As a nice setup there from the side of Peanut. Now, Duck Dom is very fast. He's got his teammates nearby. I think he should be okay, but still, HANWHA taking a big leap into the lead with this one, looking for the inner top turret.
I think they might get more than this inner. Like, BDD doesn't have TP. He's going to have to slow recall after he takes out this turret. It's not even a bounty turret.
They're
I don't know if esports
do
back for some reason. If it was a Gwen and a pushing Malzahar like on two sides of the map and you were all mid, I'd be like, oh yeah, I mean, a few guys are going to have to go back. But they actually reset. BD gets the turret, gets the back for free. No one has to defend because HANWHA Life back away, so HANWHA will lose a little bit of Baron time off of this. Still a lot of value, don't get me wrong. This has been a pretty successful, Otacon plus Baron into map control. But I feel like KT kind of got more than they should have out of this on the defense.
Yeah, maybe not squeezing the maximum value out of the KT fruit at this point.
It's hard to kill Viper as KT in any situation because he has Edge of Night and like Viper's level 16, he's 0 deaths. I don't know if he really is thinking about a QSS in this one, to be honest with you, Valdez. He's like, get close to me and see how well it goes for you.
Yeah.
Look at him just kind of kite back. They're like, where's that Varus? It's so annoying. Oh, half Peter's health is gone.
Yeah. Half is gone. Pillars are going down, but this Drake is going to be pretty interesting to flash once again onto the Annie. But Zeka's going to live, and the follow-up from the Wukong is just insane. Perfect does get in the backline, but it's too little and too late. HANWHA Life Esports crush the fight, and they'll take this free Drake on top of it.
Crazy that this blind front will get punished again here, Valdez.
Wow.
The Wukong value is extremely high in these fights.
6-game winning streak.
The follow-up is just so simple. And Viper is just like, he's the taunt button. Like everyone on KT is trying to figure out how to engage on him as Cuz is gonna feel good about fighting a Poppy 1v1.
Yeah, not sure about this decision for Delight, but getting a bit overconfident potentially. Chains come down. Nice look here from the side of Viper. He just is not missing in this game. We got Peter TPing. And Amar like, yeah, okay, cool. Don't care about that.
I feel like this whole game has been Peter being like, is this the angle? I'm like, oh, sorry, Peter, that's not the one. He's like, okay, well, I'll try again in a minute. This equalizer also really painful for the side of KT. They can't really follow up, but it's the Cyclone that is the whole story here. Yes, the Annie does go down. But like, who cares? Perfect can't fight. This was weird and unnecessary, but Viper's here to save the day in just a minute. Wait, watch him on the minimap. He's coming over. Do I have to do everything? Oh.
Yes.
Do I have to root him? Stack my Q, drop that damage down. Yeah, I guess I will, if that's what you guys need. I'm here for you.
Yep. Viper is nearly always there. He's 11 out of 12 in kill participation. I wonder which one kill it was he wasn't a part of.
Maybe one of those side lane dives.
The perfect
yeah, the
kill on Vaunt?
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Like in the brush when he was level 4? Unless he was there with Delight, it's possible. Either way, he is doing incredibly. He has not died, and he has the most kill participation of anyone on his team.
How do we feel about this game as two HANWHA Predators, or sorry, two KT Predators who weren't really sold on KT's draft that much, and it was still relatively close in terms of kills, and BD did get a massive lead. Not sure what this means, Valdez, this game. I feel like I have more questions than I have answers, but Viper performing well and Wukong being good, I already knew that. I didn't learn that here.
Yeah.
Malzahar being good, we thought maybe we could learn something. I feel like I didn't learn it, actually.
We didn't really learn anything new. I think it's just KT did give over some very, very strong pieces. And they didn't get enough in return. It's not just a draft issue. I do think that HANWHA Life Esports are definitely playing much better today.
Yeah.
And KT also playing pretty well. It's just HANWHA Life are outplaying them, and I think they do have a slightly better draft. A little bit easier to play as well. But regardless, I think it's a combination of things. Game isn't over, but 7,000 gold lead and Otacon and Soul Point, all of this stuff is feeling pretty over.
You're really cup half full today. I'm liking it, you know?
Yeah.
It's good to be a foil to me sometimes. Because right now I'm looking at a quarter full here for KT. I'm looking like you barely got enough water in there to take your medicine. It's not over, Valdez. But let's see how this fight looks.
All right.
Zeus the
Press
target.
your button on a Zeus and say you didn't pay your taxes. Takes him out. And now the follow-up from Peanut is a little bit slow. Doesn't really do much. Takes a ton of damage. Cuz going in, looking for the snipe. So is Duckdom. Not quite going to find it. Nearly gets it. And KT are winning a fight up, or rather down, 7,000 gold.
And then I get a turret bounty here as well with this big wave. I think they certainly will. Zeka caught, has to flash.
Flashes the silence damage. That's incredible. And he's Annie. He needs that flash.
Well, all I know is I'm going to your house to get one of your measuring sticks. Okay, I'm gonna get a Valdez yardstick.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna measure my hopes and dreams with it, Valdez. And I'm just gonna do whatever it says. As I thought this game was looking like it was done and dusted, there was just too much control, and yet, BDD, the man on a flank. And look at this, at the exact timing that Delight goes in. Like, you can't even make this up. So Delight can't peel. Peanut's out of position. His return Cyclone to try to turn the fight, like you said, is just a little bit too slow. It's a little bit too mistimed. Delight eats the bullets here for him to escape, but then Zeka has to flash because BDD is just big damage, man. And at the end of the day, he's got another needlessly large rod now in his inventory. And KT are somehow making this game seem playable.
And there's still no QSS tax paid. There are, the Edge of Night and the Banshee's Veil. So they have that at least. Duckdom has Flash.
He got Cyclone.
He's going to cleanse. Got the Cyclone. Subjugate also used.
Hit that second Cyclone. There you go. Always got to press it twice.
And Banana Rush control for the side of KT. Again, they're still so far behind in this game. Like, this should be HANWHA just winning.
Peter is trying to look for that Magnet Storm engage angle. He's got Flash. They need to respect this. BD eventually kill the dragon.
Will he finally find his angle?
Maybe this
Been
time.
looking for it all game long.
He can cleanse, to close the gap.
Yeah. Well, might end up just being a little flip. We do have the equalizer down now and a bunch of damage going in. The Poppy down as well, and he just targets the Wukong, but it goes to the forest anyway! And that is going to be gigantic. The Ocean Soul and the fight going heavily to the side of HANWHA Life Esports. They couldn't quite deny HANWHA Life on this play.
Viper's like, do I have to do everything? 906.
Actually, though,
like,
he does.
literally, he did everything. 15 out of 17 KP. I mean, Zeus did a lot, actually, in that fight, to be fair. Viper did kill the dragon. Got some last hits there, but, Zeus, he was the target, doing a ton of damage on the side there. BD, the only one alive, the only one with the gold lead, the only one in 2025 who thinks Malzahar is still relevant, but KT will lose this first game.
We'll see if they can hold on, but BDD does not have his flash button. The exhaust comes down, and that'll be lights out, and Viper picks up yet another one. As down will go this Nexus. HANWHA Life Esports seemingly back after their loss to Gen G.